There he is. There's one. There he is again. There's one. Got him. There's one. That's a bass. Got him. That's a big one too. Oh, I got a big one.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I am super excited about today's video because that's right, I finally started putting the pieces of the puzzle together out on Kentucky Lake. If you've been following the channel for a while, you know that Molly and I sold our tackle shop, boat service center, guide business back in the mountains of Western North Carolina and are now starting a ministry on the shores of Kentucky Lake. We are so excited about it, but this is the lake that the next 5 to 10 years of my life, or even longer, are gonna be invested in. So I'm really excited to get after it and learn this lake. In today's video, you are going to learn exactly how I had my success out on the water today, how I was breaking down the areas, figuring out which baits to throw, so on. Here's the deal. Everything that I use today, down in the description of the video, I would really appreciate it if you use those links. It would help support the channel so we can keep rolling out educational, entertaining content like this. And if you enjoyed the video today, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down in the comment section. Would love to hear from you. Join America's Outdoor family. Become part of our family. Click subscribe. I promise you're going to learn a lot and it's really fun.
All right, guys, well, it is morning time on Kentucky Lake. It's like one of the first days I've been able to get out first thing. The kids are sleeping, mama's getting up enjoying her morning, and I wanted to see if I could find a shad spawn first thing. I'm throwing a 6th inch spinner bait. I've got a 3.5 inch whale on the back, and I've been catching a lot of fish around our dock at night on riprap, and I don't know if it's a thing, but I know that shad love to spawn on riprap and just hard surfaces. So anyways, I was just running down the lake and saw this big riprap bank and figured I would give it a good old-fashioned college try. I definitely would like to see some shad, you know, following me in or bumping my blades or something. I'm not seeing any of that. The water is still kind of chilly. It says 65. It's middle of May. So there might not be a shad spawn this early, or if there is, it's definitely somewhere else or in a particular area. I tend to notice those shad really like it to be about 70 degrees up to about 75 degrees. If those fish are up there spawning on the cover, what you want to do is you want to get your bait in the strike zone the longest. So I like to parallel that cover, not make casts to it, but parallel that cover. Because my bait's in the strike zone a lot longer than it would be traditionally. Oh, just had a bite right there. Not a big one, little one. There's one. Oh, he came off a little fish again. Keep rolling. All right, there's these two little mini points that stick out off this bank. They both look like they're pea gravelly and it looks kind of good. So I'm gonna throw a 6 inch Crush 55 square bill up there in my favorite color. It's like Shad Scales or something like that, but it's got some chartreuse, got those pretty scales on them. It's pretty shallow, so maybe we can fool one of these, all these big fish. All right, so we're out here on the main lake, out in the middle, and there's these isolated cypress trees on this high spot. So I figured, hey, maybe there's some shad that would kind of come up here and just kind of spawn around these cypress trees. So we're in pretty shallow water, obviously, out in the middle. We're a mile offshore each direction. Like, I could see a school of shad that lives out here on the main lake just kind of pulling up on these shoals with cypress trees and grass. I see a baby snapping turtle. All right, pulling up on another bar with cypress trees on it. Gonna throw a buzz bait. Once again, the water's still just a little bit cold for a shad spawn, but I don't know. I just think it's a very predictable place for something to even be there. You know, I was just at Lake Lanier, and what I saw was fish knew what time of the year it was, and they were like, "Yep, it's the herring spawn," and they were there before the herring. So there could be some fish that are just here. There's one. I don't know what it is. Nice. Largemouth. Good one too. On the flat side. Oh wow, God, there's some big ones with them. There we go. All right, that was on a flat 55 crush, flat crush by 6th Sense. I saw them kind of grouped up. There's a little bar right there, and there's just a bunch of fish out there, period. But man, there was like a 4-pounder following this one. Really nice largemouth, but first fish of the day. God, these hooks that come on this flat crush are so money, dude. It like pierces bone everywhere. There we go. That fish gives me a lot of confidence. Post spawn largemouth, probably a 2 and change pounder. Let's see, just to get an idea. Let's see, 2-pounder, yep. So there you go, 2-pound largemouth. That's them right there. I need to line up another cast. The one I had that followed that one in was a 4-pounder. They're grouped up right there. It's not a huge school of them, but they're definitely bass. I thought I had one, maybe a cast or two just before that. He popped off. Here he comes. Got him. Oh, he hit it. There he go. There they are. I'm gonna get bit this cast, 100%. There he is. Not a big one. Threw it, totally okay. He's a dinky fella. There's one, another one. That's a better one. Put on spot lock. Oh, smallmouth. Oh, he came off. No, that's all right. Look at him crawling. There's a ton of them there, man. Oh, dude, we're about to just rack them. There he is again. Oh my gosh, why do they keep coming off? I was just bragging about these hooks, and these hooks are sticky sharp. They are sticky sharp. I don't know why they keep coming off. Killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. Man, I felt like I should have just got bit. Got him. That's a big one. Smallmouth. Oh, these hooks are really good. Let's go. Yeah, baby. We're figuring them out. I'm so freaking pumped. God, let's go. That is a nice smallmouth. Yes. Yes. Put that one on the scale. It's probably close to 3-pounder. If it was pre-spawn, he'd definitely be 3 pounds, but let's see. Chill. A little over 2.5. 2 3/4 almost. 211. 2 3/4 pounder. There we go, guys. Nice smallmouth. They are just loaded out there, and it's so important to use your spot lock. But man, nice smallmouth. Let's go, figuring them out.
All right, guys, it is time for Bible verse of the video. It comes out of Colossians chapter 1. It says, "He has delivered us from the domain of darkness and transferred us to the kingdom of his beloved Son, in whom we have redemption and the forgiveness of sins." I'm gonna tell you 100% the truth. I actually used to be an atheist. I was like, you know what? I don't believe in God. I don't think this whole thing is real. And a big reason of me being an atheist was actually because I didn't want to be accountable for the sin in my life. I honestly thought that I had sinned so much and I had done so much wrong that it was impossible for me to ever be forgiven and ever receive heaven. Little did I know is that Jesus Christ actually came down to reconcile sinners, bring us back in a relationship with God. So it's not about my works and me being a good person, because the Bible actually says that we all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. So here's the deal. The only way that I can be reconciled back to God the Father is through an act from God the Father. And he sent Jesus Christ on our behalf to forgive us our sins by paying our penalty on the cross. And that is the good news. He delivers us from the domain of darkness and transfers us into the kingdom of light through the forgiveness of sins with Jesus. So here's the deal. If you're someone that's like, man, I'm not religious, and you know, but deep down you just feel guilt and shame because of your past sin, just know that Jesus Christ can forgive your sins just like he's forgiven mine and many other people. Man, that is the gospel. That is what fuels me. That is what fires me up every single day. Go read it for yourself. Read the book of Colossians, and I promise, God will speak to you. Let's get back to the video.
Oh, white bass. That one's a white bass. I was like, that's crazy. I'd say I'm definitely seeing some shad activity. So my guess is there's a shad spawn happening on this little bar right here. Gonna hit spot lock. And we got all the players here. There he is. A little one. Oh, it's a whitey. There's some big ones down there. I guess the white bass just beat him to it. Part of it. There's one. That's a bass. Largemouth. Bunch of little fellas out there. I think there's some good ones mixed in though, because the first one I caught had, I'm telling you, like a 4 and change behind it, which got me pretty excited. But little largemouth. It's a really, really easy spot. It makes a lot of sense where they are. There's a high spot. There's actually a high spot and then like a little trough and another high spot. So we got a wind out of the south. They're pulling water, which Kentucky Lake flows from south to north. So you think it's like double current. You got wind, you got them pulling current. So these fish are just set up on this bar waiting for shad to come to them. And I'm just throwing that flat 55 crush, which I have told people for a long time that is a special bait. I've caught them during the herring spawn really good on it, catching them on a shad spawn. These shallow bars set up really well for it. But anyways, that's fish number 6 or 7 I've hooked. I've landed, I think, 5. But anyways, let's keep on fishing. All right, so you guys can tell there's this little like slough creek channel looking thing, and that's the high spot they were on, and the water's hitting here. Well, as I idle up, look at right here, very similar looking deal. Got a real high spot, little creek channel right there. So my thought is if we pull up to right here, we should be able to find some fish right in here and there. And another thing is, now that I have kind of what they're doing, or at least what that school was doing, I can look for a lot of similar stuff, exactly like I was just talking about, kind of all over the lake or around where I am, and see if that is a pattern that I can run and have some consistency with. Oh my God. God, I just had a dang big largemouth. Let's see. Eat it again, bud. All right, well, I just had a blow up a minute ago on a 6th Sense catwalk, and for whatever reason, he didn't tackle it. He blew up on it twice, or maybe it was 2 fish, but either way, it just honestly looked like what I would call like a herring point. It was just a long sandy clay point, and it's a, you know, typical spot the herring spawn on, which I'm sure there's not alewife in here, but river herring, skipjack herring, that's the word I'm looking for. So, you know, I'm like, all right, it's overcast. You can tell here's like another one that's real shallow, pea gravel, mixed shell, so it's a hard bottom. And it's like, dude, I know that big bass use this kind of stuff to ambush bait on, and bait used it to spawn on. So I'm just thinking about it like, okay, what looks good? What am I used to? What do I know fish get on? And there you go, I just had a shad flicker kind of right a few feet away from my boat. So there are bait fish here. Let's see if we can't catch one. Oh man, I definitely just had a bite. God. Let's see what we got. Little smallmouth. Cool. On the spinner bait. There we go. Emery, little smallie. Beautiful. Got him. That's a big one too. Locked it up. Big smallmouth. Let's go. I knew if I could just make the right cast and fire him up, that'd be the deal. That's a good smallie. He's not as big as I thought he was. When I first saw him in the water, I thought he was a dadgum stud. I thought he was like a 4-pounder. 6 to 7 foot of water, and that crankbait dives to 5. So I'm trying to put that rod tip down there and give it a little extra beef. But yeah, he's not as big as I thought he was. He's 2 1/4. There you go, guys. That was cool. I'm gonna show you guys what I just caught that fish on. That's a 6th Sense swing head, the hook, and the stroker craw. But that right there, 1/2 ounce. It's a shell bed out there. It's a high spot. It's a shoal. I mean, that's not a big one by any means, but pretty cool. I was just dragging it real slow, kind of even slow reeling it, and I felt it go toom. And you know, just goes to show you, you can switch up baits on the Tennessee River when you're chasing these style fish doing this deal. I mean, I threw a crankbait down there a ton, threw a jig head minnow, didn't catch any on the jig head minnow. I did have one bite and had one follow. Went to the crawl on a ball head right there, or the football little swing head. First cast, that's pretty cool. And up to other people. Oh, I got a big one. I got a big one right here. Yeah, on the swing head, dude. He's tatted and nasty. Let's go. Oh, boat flip him. Let's go, baby. Hey, shout out to Cole and Jay. You guys know Cole from the channel. On the phone with him, absolutely getting dialed in on some brim. And there you go, guys. That's probably a 3-pound largemouth. Just ate the swing head. Look at him. He's tatted, man. He got those tats in prison. Sick.
All right, guys, I wanted to do a small little bait breakdown segment, and I don't have a windsock on my camera, so if you hear some wind interference, I want to apologize. But first off, the most productive bait of the day was that flat crush 75X. I think I was calling it a flat crush 50 or whatever, but it is a flat crush 75X. It is a flat-sided crankbait. If you know, flat-sided crankbaits absolutely get bit when it's pressured, but the unique thing about them is a tight vibration. And when you think about tight vibration lures, whether it's a bladed jig, like a Silver Buddy style bait, a lipless crankbait, whatever it is, man, that tight vibration gets bites. And then the other thing is, when you pull up on those fresh fish offshore, a lot of times, just like when they pull up shallow offshore after winter, they can be kind of finicky. They're like figuring themselves out. Hey, is this where we're gonna set up? Is this where we're gonna ambush? But I'm telling you, that flat-sided bait is such a natural vibration. It gets bit. That is the stock BKK hooks that it comes with. Those things are diabolically sharp. They are so nasty. They're sticky. I mean, I caught a lot of fish, had a lot of bites, and those things are absolutely sticky still. That bait right there is paired with a 6'10" medium heavy regular bend. You got to have that parabolic action when you're crankbait fishing. And how I was losing fish, honestly, I was getting bit and setting the hook instead of like really reeling into those fish as hard as I can and creating as much line tension, and then leaning on them with the rod and letting the rod work. As soon as I would just kind of burn that bait into their face and just like really let them get it good and let that rod load and then lean on them, I didn't lose a fish after that. So that just comes with, honestly, shallow cranking. It's not a bite that I have done very often. If you guys have watched the channel for a while, you guys know I'm from herring lakes, and we don't really get on a crankbait bite all too often, except around the herring spawn, when once again that little booger excels. I caught some giants on it last year. I know I'm going to continue to catch fish on it all year, spring through the summer, through the fall, back into the winter. That is just a great bait fish imitator here on the Tennessee River, the 6th Sense Flat Crush 75X. All right, the next bait that did a lot of damage was this booger right here, and that is the swing head. This is a 6th Sense swing head, 1/2 ounce green pumpkin with the green pumpkin stroker crawl. Literally nothing fancy, but this is what I know. A lot of times when you pull up on those fish and you go to cranking them, you're gonna catch 4 or 5 fish, and then the school's gonna go dormant. They're gonna be like, ah, nope, we seen Harold, Jimmy, Tim, and Peter get caught, and we're done. We're not biting that. And a lot of times you can just switch them up when they are offshore doing their deal like that, getting on those ledges. So I went to that swing head, and all I was doing was casting it out and dragging it, and I could feel every shell. It's such a sensitive technique. I don't necessarily like Carolina rig fishing. I know it gets bit. People are gonna really like, hey, Carolina rig's the best. I know it's a great technique. It gets bit. But that swing head, I get direct contact and know what is going on with that bait. And I would feel those shells. I could feel that rod tip just tap, 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 coming across those shells. And then I would feel it go boom. And when they hit it, I'm telling you, they got it. I caught 2 good fish right there on the stroker crawl. You can still see the teeth marks right there, but that booger right there did the damage. And I've got that on 7'3" medium heavy fast action. I want that fast tip. It's a single hook bait. I don't need a regular bend because then I wouldn't get a good hook set in them. It's a fast tip, so when I swing on them and set the hook, it absolutely jacks them. But that right there was the 1-2 punch. We had the flat 75X crush, and then the swing head with the stroker crawl, green pumpkin, 1/2 ounce. That's just a standard deal. And I'm telling you, I think that right there is gonna end up being one of my more favorite techniques to throw on the Tennessee River, whether I'm bar fishing / shell bed fishing or ledge fishing. That is a great bait to mop up bites after you've already railed on them with a big swim bait or a crankbait like I did. But that is the juice. All right, well, there you go, guys. That was the video today. Man, I'm telling you, I can't even explain to you how excited I was to finally figure it out, because this is what I know, man. When you go out to a new body of water, you got to put your butt in the dash and you have got to idle and figure some things out. On a huge lake like Kentucky Lake, man, it's like a freshwater ocean. The place is huge, so it takes a lot of time to get out there, sitting your butt in the seat, spending time looking at your graphs, trying to figure out all the finer nuances offshore that can lead to success. So it was really, really nice having success offshore. I've been wanting to figure out that offshore bite. No, I didn't catch any giants. I did catch a few and some nice smallmouth, some nice largemouth. And I believe the size is going to get bigger out there the more I figure it out. I was really excited to dial it in. And guess what, man? Those baits are the deal. Don't forget to get those. Like I said, links down in the description. And yeah, I appreciate you guys a ton for watching this video. And if you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, I'm out. See you guys.